Alright, there we go.
Didn't play for Jit stream, just FYI. What? You didn't hear
Wow.
the really loud yeah that just played? You didn't hear that?
Also, to be fair, I
My
don't think
model is
I
having a
don't
fucking
think. Oh
stroke.
wait, no, never mind. I know why I didn't hear it. Never mind. Ignore me.
Way to find the game. I think you just Google search Pokemon Revolution online. And
Also,
then
Jitch, you have to
PokemonRevolution.net is where you download it.
Jitch, join the shared chat.
Join the
It
shared
was
chat.
in it.
I thought it
There
was.
you
go. There
in
you
it.
go.
What happened? That's weird.
There we go.
All right, we're good
Why am
now.
I good now?
I think all
Yeah,
my
no ROMs needed either, which is nice. So you guys aren't hearing my sounds. That's weird. You should be. Let me try another one.
I'm
real
hearing
quick.
them.
Yeah, I heard it too, but apparently on stream it somehow didn't play, which I've never seen be an issue before. Let me try a holy light real quick for you.
Oh, holy light!
That didn't show up.
I heard
Weird.
it. And it
Yeah,
showed
it
up
came
on
through
mine.
on mine.
What? Oh, I know why.
What? Did you have it muted?
I don't think they were able to hear you the whole time. I think they were just hearing me talking to myself just now.
I think you're a really smart.
insane.
I forgot
Insane
that I have
Jitch.
2 voice meter outputs, and I've stopped using aux because it seems to cause more issues.
Ah, there's.
You could hear them. Oh, right, because Discord has its own sound settings. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, now can you hear it?
Oh, holy light!
Yeah, you can definitely hear it. I saw it in my audio. Here you go. I'll give you another yeah. I'll give you another yeah real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah!
Yeah.
That's compensation. That's compensation for the one that it didn't give you earlier.
There you go. I need to get more Pokemon on my team.
Oh, I don't know if Pokemon Revolution Online has download for iPhone. No, sorry. I don't know about that. I don't think so.
iPhone?
I think it has mobile support. I
The
remember.
new iPhone.
It might work on. Hey,
Hey,
boy.
boy.
It
I
might
think
work on Android.
I think it has something. Probably not. Yeah, probably not iPhone, but Android.
It's
probably.
got it for Android. If you have an Android, then you can play.
I think she already said she has iPhone, so I don't think this.
Ah.
I don't think so.
Does your iPhone have the app to destroy all ops?
Hee, please answer this question seriously.
Whoa, lightning.
Hey, boy.
And
Yeah,
your
Ryan's
Nidoking
here.
is super tiny.
Yeah, Jitch is also really small.
She said, "What is that?"
It's a,
What?
it's a stupid video.
It's a really dumb
Look what I got.
video, yeah.
I got a Gramble. My Gramble is bigger than
Yo.
yours.
Do you guys want to
I
link to my YouTube chat just so you can see people talking in there?
Sure, I don't mind.
I'll give you a link to the pop out chat.
I don't know how I'm
Although,
gonna.
actually- No, I'll just give you a link to my stream because then you can pop it out yourself. I don't know.
I don't know how I'm gonna show this.
Window.
I mean, I guess I could show it.
Huh?
I'm trying to figure out how am I gonna show it on my stream.
I don't need to.
I just
That's
want to
up
read it.
you.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just
worry
have a
about all
pop out.
that.
I have a pop out for myself to read it.
Alright, well, here you go. I just wanted to. Is that even? That is my stream. Okay, I wasn't sure because it said feature equals share, and I was like, wait, what did I just said?
Regolution.
Pregolution. I thought you'd like that.
Man, and you guys,
That was
and
the
you
first thing you spotted.
get on me about breeding. You know about pregnancies and all that, man.
I'm not about pregnancies.
It's just all about that.
I'm about
Yeah.
a lot of things, but I'm not about pregnancies.
You sure?
I mean that title kind of, you know.
I just thought it'd be funny, dude. What do you want from me? Get off
I
my
want-
ass.
Truth.
Apparently, I'm your
Long.
third top fan.
Well, Gihi, if you have any kind of Android device, like a tablet or something, or if you have like, you know, if you got like a computer, this game
Any
definitely wouldn't
computer.
require much. I feel like pretty much any computer could run this.
Alright,
Yeah.
there we go. That will You could have used a little pop-out chat.
This is how I looked in this game.
I know, it's...
What
Did
was
you
I
forget?
What were you thinking? Also, you could get a frost glass hat in
I
the
haven't
shop.
got Danny is a mod on my YouTube chat. Let me fix that.
Probably because I wasn't here when you streamed on YouTube.
I don't even think you're subscribed to my YouTube channel. I'll be honest with you.
Gasp.
But I'm your number 3 fan, it says. Let me see if I'm subbed.
So I might... Yeah, I'm sending you a friend request here in the game.
I am sub, bitch.
All right. Hey, my name rhymes with that.
Wait, I can inspect you? Ooh,
Bust,
I'm inspecting
bitch.
you guys.
Wait, a computer was obliterated by my carelessness.
What do you mean obliterated? Does it not turn
That's
on
a
or
scary
like
one to choose.
what obliterated
Damn.
or carelessness?
Jitch has a Nidoking, a Crobat, an Ariados.
All right, dude. I
Man.
get it. You're looking at my stream. All right, I get it.
No, I'm inspecting you in game.
He's peeking.
If you right click on a person, you can click inspect and you can see their team.
How do we do the Minecraft F3 thing so that we can position the camera and be like, all right, guys, welcome to my stream.
In a 2D game?
Yeah.
Alright guys, we are here in Pokemon Revolution Pro. Wait, online.
Pokemon
Pro, so-
Revolution Pro.
Pro is for short, but online is what we're on. So we're gonna
With
hop
two
on in.
Tiny
You
people
didn't ping,
in a
Jit. She
different-
forgot to ping.
What?
Jit, you forgot to
for your
ping.
stream.
I forgot
That-
to ping.
that
Oh, I
is
was probably in the middle
ultra
of that, and I was trying to get a bunch of
uncool.
other stuff set up.
Crazy has numbers next to their name. Haha.
Now
Look at this
I know
guy.
his real name. Now I know his real name is Crazy
his-
554.
that's his
Oh
full
my
name.
god.
54.
Haha, funny,
I
funny.
can't read.
Well,
I
does the
Smash
laptop still work with the
subscribe.
bent frame, or is it just like completely inoperable?
Brental floss?
The frame Brent
What if Pokemon Revolution had lyrics?
lyrics.
Doesn't it already? Pokemon Revolution, baby. Do it every night in bed,
think you-
honey.
Pulled those out of your ass.
I
I'll be
did.
real.
I did.
All right. Thank you for reminding me that I didn't ping. Shame on me.
I
There
got
you
that
go.
shit all automated. I let the bots control the pings.
You lost the power button.
How do you lose the power? What happened to your computer?
You're a funny character. I like this.
Man, we got 2 people snoozing here.
Anyway, what do you mean by
I mean-
two tiny people and the resident ram?
Will you
What
be
does that
showing your?
mean?
I hope you've been showing your pussy tonight,
My
baby,
laptop isn't
because
doing
I
much
will be
better.
wanking my cock.
Who's the resident ram? Which one of us three is the resident ram? Who are the 2 tiny people?
I'm
I
not
see-
tiny.
I see. I see. I just looked at the Fugi, right? Because Alizarin's whole body and my whole body are in the stream, and then Danny is like shoulders up. Right? I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes
So
sense.
we're really fucking swole. With the angel and the devil on your shoulders. Do it,
Yeah.
Danny.
I'm gonna send a
Kill
picture
Wait.
of my laptop so
Wait,
that
which
way you
one-
can show it.
Which one
To,
of us is the devil? Which one of us is
Ye-
the angel? I feel
It's
like
the
both of
devil
us
and
are.
the devil on your
Yeah,
shoulders.
I think we're both devils.
Do it, Danny. Kill them all.
Do it, Denny. Breed.
It's not obvious how bad this breed.
Do it, Danny. Impregnate me.
You need to.
I need to what?
Not say those words in that
Why?
order.
To get you acting up?
That that sequence is not allowed.
Oh,
It's
what
an
a.
illegal string of words.
I already said it now. What do you want?
Yeah.
Look at the picture, Jitch. Put that picture of my laptop on your screen so you can show it to Geehy.
Okay, we'll play this game eventually. Just hang on a minute.
Yeah. It's already been 15 minutes, but we're getting her yapping out of the way.
Breed or not to breed, Danny.
Okay, hang on.
That was not a Yoda, but I don't know what that was. But
Daddy, you must
Still-
read, Daddy.
You need to stop talking.
Uh, oh boy.
This is Danny's laptop. Okay, what were you saying about this? Now it's on screen.
I was saying that mine is also fucking smashed to pieces, but at least it still powers on.
That's fair.
I got that going for it. Yeah, it's a C13 Yoga. At least I can just like get a new screen for it if I really wanted to. It's not like the end of the world.
So what are we gonna do today? Ian?
Beat Lieutenant Surge's ass.
But we don't have
Isn't he
cut.
like evil in this game or something?
Yeah, that's what I was like surprised by at the end there. Apparently, we might be evil, or we could end up being evil because Lance basically killed us. And then we learned that Lieutenant Surge is working for Team Rocket, apparently, which I think is actually a manga plot. So they're pulling like manga lore into the game.
Yeah, the manga has like a totally
Right.
different thing with
Now
all the
that we've
leaders.
gotten all the formalities out of the way, Danny's impregnated me. We're playing Pokemon.
You need to.
Now we can begin.
Alright, I'm going to the SSN. Fuck you guys.
Oh, right, we gotta do the SSN.
Actually, I'm not yet because I want to go see if there's some cool Pokemon to
There's my
catch.
mouse on screen.
Oh yeah, the
No,
Dark
it
Cave.
isn't.
Well, not Dark Cave, Diglett Cave. I wonder if there's gonna be
feel like
Pokemon that aren't
It's
Diglett
gonna
in
have
Diglett Cave.
Diglets.
There's probably just like Snorlax blocking it or
Wait,
some
what's up here?
shit.
Oh, it's a ledge.
Oh, we can't go right now. Okay, well, SSN time.
Why don't you go face him, coward?
Jitch Impreg art is inevitable. Okay.
Wait, there's
It's
that already
happened.
exists.
I've
Yeah, that
already
already.
seen it. What was that inflation? I think that was inflation. I did
Well-
not ask for it either way, just so you know.
Hey, is that Surge? Where?
Yeah.
I don't see Surge. I need to talk to him right away. Oh, I just passed right by him.
Impreg art of the gym. Well, sort of.
Vision about whales. Mystery Wade. Oh, interesting.
Russia Dale.
Wait, Wade? That's isn't Wade from Sinnoh? Yeah. No, that's Quake. Wait, who's Wade? Oh,
What is
wait,
It's
no.
Wake you're thinking of. Crasher Wake.
Yeah, I said that, Wake. But he said Wade, so I'm wondering who's Wade.
That like wasn't that the dude who showed us the vision?
Oh, this.
I mean, maybe? Wait, are we heading back now, or?
We're going to the SSN.
Oh. I thought you
Yes,
Oh
said
my
it's
god, the
in
mixels in here are crazy.
Oh, I can't wait to see
You
this.
forgot. Huh?
That is like 4 pixels per pixel up there.
Let's see.
It's pretty
Can't
good.
wait to see this.
It's pretty good. Which reminds me when I played Roblox.
Hold on, come speak with me. Oh, mother god. Yes, welcome, blah blah blah.
Your
Yeah.
fans scare me. Okay, first of all, I don't have fans. MD. Let's get one thing straight. Second of all, I'm pretty sure it was Cam that made that, who is not a fan. He is my friend. Let me see if I can find Impreg Jitch real quick. Give me 1 second.
This is a great thing to want to actively seek out.
Well, they're talking about it, so I'm trying to. Oh, I don't have my Infinite Fusion folder on this computer. Never mind. It's
Alright, can we
gone.
leave now?
Thank God the Impreg
Oh, yeah,
art
we
is
can.
lost media.
No
Actually, I
fans,
think I
huh?
have it saved.
Oh. No, I have no fans because you're all my friends. Welcome to Parasocial Jitch.
Ooh, a battle.
Gear versus Fred.
Lutheran versus
Love
Fred.
He has funny YouTube videos, this guy.
Are we sure?
What's your favorite Fred video?
Talk about Fred in the Big 26.
Yeah. I like when he did Gangnam Style.
So Fredalicious.
Oh, Fred.
Yo, they're playing Super Mario
I-
Bros.
That was one thing I
What?
never watched.
Yeah,
Fred
same.
as well as Annoying Orange.
Danny loves Annoying Orange.
That's
Like,
like the
they're-
sound Annoying Orange makes.
Oh, I thought you were just giving me shit.
I just realized Annoying
you're the
Orange is sort of related to that peanut person.
Oh.
The burnt
Oh,
peanut.
I'd
Yeah.
rather not talk about the bug peanut on my channel.
Are we connecting
Please.
them to fucking Annoying Orange?
Yeah, it's the same sort of concept when you think about it.
I you're kind of
man.
right, but like, it's not.
Annoying Orange was the first VTuber, if you really think about it.
I think that was
You're
Weather
right.
Chant. That was Weather Chant, technically.
Okay, but Annoying Orange is cooler.
I don't know. I like Weather Chant.
The thing the first one I was thinking about was Kizuna's AI. There's another one everyone first heard about.
She
Kizuna,
popularized.
yeah.
She popularized the term.
Oh, is it
YouTuber.
Kizuna? I so it's AI. I'm a lapa. I don't know
Well,
anything about her.
Is
per
it?
se.
I think it is sort of like she's supposed to be an AI. That's the gimmick, but it's also I.
Oh, right.
Well, I think Kizuna
Just a
Eye
little.
is like dead.
Oh.
Yeah.
There was that thing in Fortnite recently, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
Go,
go
go,
go 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 go.
Garwa.
What are you doing?
Are you being growled on over there?
He's currently having a drink. He's gonna talk to you once he's done gugging his drink. Come on.
Alright, this is
Taking
what
a
my
fat sip of
Pokemon.
water in my stream chat.
Yeah, he's just gut, you know? Yeah, see? It's refreshed now. To think you didn't want it to be.
Tasty.
Yeah,
Why
Dragon
the
breath.
fuck is this Bulbasaur alive? Okay, it's not anymore.
I probably want to keep wing attack, I think. Wait, how good is
Also,
wing attack? How good is wingy beanie? 60. Chat, help me out here.
Dragon Rage.
I mean, it's
Also,
only-
if you guys didn't know, in the bottom right of the chat box of the battle, you can click a little dot and it opens up the battle log that you can put over to the right.
the battle logs.
Yeah, looks pretty cool.
Where?
When you're in battle, there's a little dot next to the Pokemon attacked, fainted, EXP. There's a dot on the right that you can click, and it will open up the battle log.
That's a weird thing to say, Mark. He's never talked to me again.
What did
Oh,
Mark tell you?
Talk to him and you'll see. Steve, Stevie, and Steven. Oh, I fucking hate this room.
Let me see. Let me head over to that room wherever you guys are. Oh, Mark. Okay, let's see what Mark has to say. Can you?
It's just some weird
Oh
shit,
yeah,
I don't know, I don't
this
like
one.
it.
That's in the. I think that's based off the original one. It's a little expanded.
Just makes me turn into dehydrated SpongeBob. I hate him so much. I just have power over you.
Hour?
Yeah.
Oh, these are the starter trio people.
Get flinched, dumbass.
Let's use headbutt. Oh no, we're gonna use Robcoon. Oh, I survived.
Whoa, he had different dialogue recognizing that I picked Squirtle as my starter. How did he even know that?
No, it's so
That's crazy.
advanced.
What?
Video games. They use AI for that, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. That's AI. Chat, is this AI? Okay, what was it? This.
Aqua
What was-
Tail.
No, I
Yeah.
pressed to bring up the. Oh, this. I went to move it and then the battle ended. Whoops, I forgot to change my water level.
Dude, this Squirtle's hitbox is so fucking big.
Can I make the battle log smaller? It's
Okay.
too. It's too...
I put it over where the Pokemon in the wild showcase on the right, so that in the battle would
I'm
overlap
a
it.
mixed attacker. I could have learned Aqua Tail, I guess.
You're mixed.
I didn't think I was.
Ramble has died.
No.
I tried to make the Uma Musume reference because I can't shut up about it, and I was like, I don't really know where to go with this.
I love Uma Musume.
El Condo Pasa. There you go. It's a mixed.
What? Look at their turf and dirt.
Because you can run basically everything. You're El Condo Pasa. There you go.
I'm okay with that.
I love Uma Musume. I saw a crazy post about El Condo Pasa, but I can't quote that.
Was it the one about her thighs?
Yeah, there was a
Yeah,
repost
was-
of it that just had a bunch of funny numbers too, but I didn't look at what they were.
That was mine. That was me reposting that. I'm pretty sure.
That's really
Assurance.
funny because I had no idea.
Oh, I can heal in the bed. I'll go do that in a second
And let's take the other one.
before I move to the next floor.
Bulbasaur.
Danny and Jitch handshake meme emoji being absolute fucking freaks.
About Uma Musume specifically.
About Musume specifically. No, not to no. Wait, why are you weak to bite? Oh, because you're psychic type.
Yeah, it's psychic type, dude. What? What do you mean? Why you're weak to bite?
Brain just didn't work for a
Did we
minute there,
forget how
okay?
Pokemon worked?
Yes, actually, I did.
I
It's only
sometimes
been
forget.
like a week and 2 days.
That's too long. We need to do this 3 times a week.
Alright,
if you
I
want
need
me
to heal
remember
up.
You
anything.
do this 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Alright, there we go. All
Heal
rested
in
up.
bed. Oh yeah, that's
Why does this guy have a Machamp?
because you're a champ.
Yeah,
a level
deal with it.
25 Machamp.
I can't fight this because isn't Spirit's part normal? I think so.
Time to take on Charlie, his Growlithe.
Charlie.
I'm pecking this Machamp.
Doing
Let's
a
go to
toe knife
Candy
Charlie.
Mountain, Charlie. Candy Mountain.
Alright, I beat this Machamp's ass.
And we're going
Just
all
fighting a
oldie
champ.
internet memes. I don't know why I use Fire Fang.
Zatu has the level 26. Do I get a Zatu now? No.
Yeah, on the topic of Uma Musume, Jitch,
Uh-huh.
I was 100% serious when I said I will spend $200 to pull Inari 1 if I have to.
I really don't think you should. As someone who also really wants an RE1, I just don't think it's worth it, man.
I mean, I might not have to spend $200, but I might.
Have you gotten any of the, like, special one-time only purchases that you can do?
That's how I got to the $210 price point, because I can buy the 7,500 carats. That's $70 3 times to get enough pulls to get my pity for $210.
Oh. Do you know any more stories you can just read?
None of them.
Oh my god.
I'm caught
Holy
up on
shit,
that.
this
I
room.
do that.
Man, you're all tapped out.
I keep up with my stories in that game.
I used to. Well, I mean, I tried to set aside time to read them, and that normally ends up never happening.
Ooh, oh, Screech, nah. Alright, off to the upstairs.
Checking what Spiro is sending to Twilight Princess. It's probably going to be 100 rupees again.
Whoa, what is this map? That does not look like Kanto. You gotta
What
play
is this
Uma
button
right now.
for? Oh.
Oh my god, what is this? Gym.
Ryan's gonna pull an Uma right now.
Ah. Yeah.
Brian, supports. Supports, dude.
Ah,
supports.
champ.
Words. One word.
Remember.
One word.
remember.
supports.
Supports, Ryan. You have to stop. I mean, you don't, but you probably should.
That's what I'm. Okay,
Okay.
he's pulling supports.
Okay. Oh, so you should pull an Uma, not in Uma. Alright, okay. I was gonna say, you don't even want an RE1. You'd just be doing that out of spite. And
He
that
pulls
would work
Inari
out for
1.
you.
Yeah,
He'd
he
get hurt
would.
immediately if he tried. That's how that shit works.
I don't think it matters for you specifically. You just need more cards in general.
Yeah.
The Machamp wasn't that difficult.
New one's
That's
probably better.
I mean,
think.
it wasn't. It's just the fact it's a Machamp here.
Yeah.
It's weird.
But, I mean, to be fair, it makes sense. I mean, you could technically get it at this point if you trade it. Also, the guy said a very impressive battle, Tamagotchi. Man, bro's playing too much
Dude, call me
Tamagotchi
as
life.
Tomodachi.
I am not a funny looking me. Oh, yes, I am.
Ryan's gonna pull like Inari 1 support card.
Yeah,
Toby.
he's gonna get the really cool SR and RE1.
The SR where she's like covered in dirt.
Yeah. It's really cool looking.
That card's aura farming.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Welcome to the Inari 1 fan club plus Alizarin.
Yeah, I don't
The
know what any of you
Inari
guys are
fan
talking
club
about.
is Just me.
I'm just here to be here.
It's just you? I'm not allowed to be in it? Is what you're saying?
No, you're not enough of a fan. I'm
Fuck you.
gatekeeping.
Fuck you,
I'm
buddy. I already
gatekeeping, I'm
told her. I was
gatekeeping.
lying earlier. I actually got her straight away.
Deploying the black kid gif.
I
Congrats.
really think what
Happy
you meant
for you.
by that. That's gonna need some context, dude.
Okay, then show it.
I don't have it on my computer.
Okay, hold on.
Man, you guys see
It's
his
just a kid
memes?
looking
I don't.
really mad, and it says like, "Congrats, happy for you." I actually don't have her. That was a really mean lie. I'm sorry.
You're so evil and mean and fucked up, and that's so mean and evil, and it's fucked up that you say that.
What?
Posted your
Yeah.
polls. Okay, let me look at them.
I'll
What
look at
level
them
does
right
Mankey
now.
evolve
That Pop
at?
Gun and Digiturn are both pretty decent, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. That's a good stamina Top Gun card.
I've used that digital quite a lot, so it must be alright, because I would never use bad supports.
No, never. Yeah, it's not bad.
Nice.
Mankey.
He-Man.
I'm trying to see what level he evolves at after this battle. Is this battle over?
This dude has a fucking Snorlax.
Oh god, now that's difficult.
By the way, I don't know
Okay.
if Jordy's still here, but that thing you sent me earlier, yeah, Danny still hasn't done it. I don't know when that's happening, but like, I'm
Alright,
getting
let's
kind of
check the
impatient.
books. Mankey.
What are you
Mankey.
talking about?
Jordy sent me something, and like, I'm not gonna say what it was, but I just want to say I'm waiting very impatiently, and it still hasn't happened.
Oh, does it? The dex doesn't tell you
Okay.
when it evolves. That's so stupid.
I have
Maybe
no
you
clue
just
what the fuck
forgot.
you're talking
You just
about.
forgot.
All right, let me
You just
Google it
forgot.
instead. Mankey evolution level 28.
Your
Okay.
third uncap of that's not bad.
Oh, one
That
more
is-
level.
Yeah, it's good. By the way, the thing that Jordy sent me was a screenshot from your chat with him, where you said you were gonna wank my cock.
Oh, that! I said that when I woke up from my nap.
I told Jordy that I was gonna try to act surprised when you did it because I totally didn't know. That's a real thing that's really gonna happen.
Let me send this in chat so Liz will know context.
Okay.
I just keep
Also-
waiting and it just keeps not happening.
You're gonna what witches?
I want to know what you
It's
asked
in this
for
room.
him to ask you're gonna do what?
I
Oh,
sent.
that's
I
funny.
don't know how much Jordy sent, but I sent a bigger screenshot probably.
That's funny.
Okay, because Jordy only showed that you're gonna what part. Oh,
Yeah, it's good.
that's really funny. I would have hung out, but I was sleeping at that time.
No, I mean I immediately went to bed after I sent that message.
Oh.
I set an alarm for 6 p.m. and I woke up and immediately dropped 50 pulls on Inari 1 and didn't get them.
You set an alarm for 6 p.m.? Okay. I'm really glad I woke up when I did then because I woke up at 6 p.m. your time.
That's
Yeah, I
what
got
hap-
up at 6 p.m. because I needed to take a nap since I'd been up since like 5 p.m.
We haven't
Yeah.
really established a time for today, so I was like,
Yeah.
last time we went about 5 or 6, so I'll just try to sleep until then.
Yeah, I was like,
Well, it
I
worked.
woke up super early. I woke up at 6 a.m. a whole 12 hours before, because I slept the whole day prior to try to fix my sleep schedule. So it was
I
like,
woke up at 5 p.m. Wednesday, and then I went to bed at 1 p.m. Thursday, and then I got up at 6 p.m. Thursday.
but
By the way, is everyone's volume okay? I think it was a vlog for the first stream in the living room was like really quiet, and no one ever
Oh,
told
it was?
me.
No
It
one
was 'cause you were a little
cares.
turned down on my end. No one fucking said anything, so I didn't know, because to me it sounds fine. But I looked at
Yeah.
the VOD and I was like, damn, you're really quiet.
I'm looking at the volume mixer and everyone looks okay on my end.
I mean, like,
We all
I'm using
we
that.
we all hit about like -5 decibel, -6 decibels.
To be fair, you literally sometimes when you talk, mine goes red. So maybe I need to turn you down a little.
yeah,
Who,
you guys are about equal for
Yeah.
me. Like my voice obviously is a little higher than you guys because this is a little how you usually do it. You put yours a little higher so they can hear you more on your stream, but
Yeah.
generally
Might
like
turn
it's
down
about
a
equal.
Tiny bit.
Like you guys hit the bottom yellow, I hit a little bit above the yellow, like in the yellow. So
I put everyone on my stream at about -7
about now?
decibels. You are peaking at -6. You're not getting any louder than that.
yeah, you're hitting at
How
-18.
are you setting specific peaks? What are you doing?
I'm not. That's just how loud you got to.
Yeah. You guys get like around -18 for me, while I hit like my high point is about -12.
What?
What? Do you not know what the what?
You don't have to know the numbers on the right side of the bars.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Like, you guys and me are all hitting like between like 6 and 0.
This
Yeah, I don't-
shouldn't get any louder than like 3.
Yeah, you shouldn't ever really go into the red. Out of really.
3 is like the loudest it should get. That's just how audio works.
Yeah, if you
Oh,
go
wait,
into red,
no,
it could
I'm
actually.
stupid.
If you could go into red, it usually means it could peak, which is really bad.
I consider anything above -3 decibels to be peaking, even
Yeah.
though that's not
Well-
factually true.
I was reading it wrong. So fuck you.
You that read wrong. I have a dig bic.
But yeah, I have it for -15 for you guys, and then like -9, oh 10 for me. That's.
Imagine if this game had running shoes. Wouldn't that be nice?
Well, we're gonna be getting a bike soon, I think.
Maybe. Let me fix my model really
I
quick.
think
It's
I
like,
think what they did is that the mounts
I
are
don't like
basically the
what
run option.
this is doing. There we go.
I wonder if
Let me-
Sonic
Let me
is a
turn this bar
Pokemon?
up all the
What?
way.
I mean, Sonic is a Pokemon in Mario Mon. If you want to play
Who's
that.
saying that
So
and
probably
where?
not.
I don't see anything
Probably
about
now
that.
really behind you guys because I just stopped playing for a little bit to look at audio.
Where are you reading the message about Sonic being a Pokemon?
Yeah, where is
That's what
that?
NPC said.
Oh, okay. I thought
Wait.
someone in your chat said that because I'm like, I didn't see that in chat.
Oh my god, a Snorlax.
I
Wait,
feel
why are
like
they
I'm
mentioning-
the farthest right now. I didn't
Yeah, you
mean
probably
to.
are.
Are you
Yeah.
talking to any NPCs or are you just going straight for battles?
I'm talking to them.
I'm
Oh,
doing
cool.
battles.
Then again, I've seen your reading speed. I'm not keeping up with that.
I'm just doing battles.
I'm in the fifth room on the upper floor.
I'm in the room with Ryan. So just look for the room
That's
with
the
Ryan.
run right behind me that has like the 4 people with the Rattata.
Yeah. All the
Okay.
bros.
Yeah, there's like one called Brotato.
Yeah, they didn't even try with these names.
Wait, that's
No, they're
that's
awesome. What do you mean?
I'm
Potatoes
sick of this
is like-
game. I'm not playing this
Brotato's an
anymore, guys.
awesome name.
I'm not
Potato's
playing this.
a
I'm not
video
playing
game.
this. I'm not playing this
We're
anymore,
actually
guys.
ending stream.
Yep. Okay, guys, we're gonna be ending the
We're
stream
gonna start
tonight.
streaming Uma
We're-
instead.
We're
I actually
sorry.
just closed my screen out of anger. Sorry, guys, it's over.
That picture of the Nintendo Switch snapped in half.
I got my Switch 2 right here. Let me do that.
Oh,
I'm really curious if I could do something really cool with my stream setup.
speaking
I
of
don't
the
know
Switch
what.
2, did you see the new the Steam Deck price increase?
Yeah. Oh my god, that was like.
I'm gonna try something really cool here, guys. Do you guys want me to like super stim today on stream? Let's do it.
Super Stim?
Yeah, we're
Super
stimming today.
Super
I don't even normal Stim.
I don't usually
Right,
stim
hang
at
on.
all.
Bear with me a minute.
Why is this Illumise like so fucking fat and bulky?
Where are you guys?
Illumise?
I love
Bear
it,
with me a
Lumise.
My bad, I Lumise.
To be fair,
Illumis.
not many people know how to say that thing. I don't even know really. Even
Because
the
it doesn't, there isn't one.
Even-
There
no.
isn't, there isn't.
there is technically a way, but every single official way they say it differently. Like there was a guide that was written
I
that says it
Lumise.
like yeah, it's like illuminize or something like that. It was so
Illumis.
stupid.
That's how I've always pronounced it. Illumis.
I don't even know how I say it normally. Oh, hey, there's a hyper potion
nobody-
in the trash.
Nobody like gives a fuck about that Pokemon, so
See, I like that Pokemon. I tried it when
Nobody?
I first found it, and then I was so disappointed by how they just did nothing.
this dude has a Bidoof. I mean a Bidoof.
Baidu.
Biden, what?
Oh, Biden.
I've always pronounced it like Danny. Thank you, Ryan.
I think I've always said it as Illumise. I think that's how I said it.
I don't know. That's one of those weird names.
Like a Volbeat, that one's easy. That one's
Yeah.
like,
That one makes sense.
yeah. I always was, I wish they did more Pokemon like that, where there was like, it was a more of an obvious pair. I know they did it in Sun and Moon with those monkeys, but they were separate version games, so it was like, technically not that.
What, Passimian and Oranguru?
Yeah, they were like, you know, similar mons, but, you know, siblings of some sort, but
'Cause
separate
you have, like,
games.
Plusle and Minun, Volbeat and Illumise, Passimian
Oh.
and Oranguru.
Sock and Throw.
When you say this shit, it's great.
Huh?
The way that you're saying all of this is just really great.
What, you not like us yapping about Pokemon on the Pokemon stream?
No, just the way you're pronouncing things is funny.
That's funny coming from a Brit.
What is your problem, man?
Plusle and bitch.
True.
Did you forget Minun's name?
Oh yeah, Solrock and Lunatone, those are ones that are really good. I love those. And I died. Wait, how am I
You
gonna...
died?
Yeah, I died. I wasn't really caring about my lawns, like HP.
Oh.
Alright, fuck this idea. Sorry, chat. I thought it would be funny, but it's not.
Oh my
gonna
god, it
work.
sends you back to the PC, to the Pokemon Center? The fuck?
I can't figure out how to do it, so I'm just
Doesn't
not
the
gonna do
What are
it.
you
SN
trying to do?
The
I was
SFN
gonna-
normally...
I was gonna
Oh.
play Uma Musume in portrait mode and then just have it on the right, and every time I was waiting for moves to be over, I was gonna just do a couple clicks in that, so I could do both.
I should hook my phone up to my computer and screen share my phone and play them on my phone.
I can't believe
I mean,
the game
but
doesn't
that
have
might
you
Probably be easy to just get like an
set
Android
back at the...
emulator, right?
No, the point
Yeah.
is that it doesn't steal focus away from like the Pokemon app because they're two separate devices.
I guess.
Alright. Where are you
I was
guys?
just gonna have it pinned
I haven't
over
been
the
able
shit
to
on the
find
right
you.
Since there's nothing important over there.
What the hell is this
What,
area?
Alizarin?
I'm in the room with Broheman, who I'm fighting right now.
Oh, many years ago I got Wonder Traded a Minun that was shiny and named Bitch, so all my Minun are Bitch. I miss Wonder Trading.
You can still do Wonder Trading, except for now that all of them are mostly bots. Yay.
Yeah, that's why I miss it. It used to be real ass people giving you real Pokemon.
I mean, I still do it. I just, like, you just normally run into bots. Like, I say the bots are about 50%. I just usually just, like, go through my box and, like, spam them out. Like, any mons I've caught that I don't use. I'm like, oh, yeah, this one's a cool one.
Bros.
I think I got a shiny the other time. It was a legit shiny. It was, like, from, Sword and Shield. It was, like, a lesser mon.
I was given a shiny Umbreon during one.
Oh yeah, I remember Sun and Moon. I think it's still on my save file. I was Wonder Traded a shiny Eradicate. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, I got a shiny
It was-
Umbreon during my Alpha Sapphire playthrough.
Apparently, it was from I think it was Kanto eShop at that time. I should try to transfer that. I think you still could, right? I'm not sure.
I remember I was spending the night at a hotel and I found a shiny. It was a Lombre, I think. That
My
was
first,
my first shiny in a long time. I have only found like 4 shinies ever.
my first
I gotta
ever
go fight
shiny.
PewDiePie? Oh shit.
My first ever shiny was in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, like the OG, and it was shiny
Mhm.
Wingull.
My
was a
first shiny was a shiny Wingull in Sapphire.
Oh, nice.
And then I found a shiny Patrat and it was either black or black 2.
found a shiny map pet?
Yeah, I found a
Yo.
shiny map pack.
Yo,
and
Mankey's
then
evolving.
in Alpha Sapphire, I found a shiny Lombre, and then in Violet, I found a shiny Go-Go.
My Primeape is learning Rage. What move is there? Any move that I should remove? I have Dig, Cross Chop, Low Kick, or Karate Chop.
You should just keep all of those. I would
Okay.
not get Rage
How did-
over any of those.
All right.
How did my
sounds good.
shiny
Shiny
Poliwag
Poliwag go. Yeah.
What shiny
Let's
Poliwag?
talk, let's talk about that.
Oh yeah, that
What shiny
Poliwag.
What are you guys talking about? You're like all talking like you know something that I don't, but it's about me.
Yeah.
What are you? What?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
Poliwag?
The sundown Alzheimer's is getting to him.
Yep. Trying to put him down.
Am I being like gaslit right now? What the fuck do you mean Poliwag?
I can tell from your voice that you're not being serious.
What do you mean by my voice? I have no idea what the fuck you guys are talking about. Go back to yapping about whatever you were talking about.
I'm
before.
about to get a Blastoise.
I ain't about to be gaslit into some shiny Poliwag show. I know I'm not.
So I wonder if there's an option in the settings to make
To
battles
what?
faster.
Probably. They seem decently fast already, though.
Yeah, they do, but I wonder if there's like a disable battle
Nah,
animation.
they're not
or something.
fast enough. That's why I was gonna stop playing Umas because I feel like they were too slow.
Yeah, you need constant stimming.
It's just like nothing's happening on the screen.
Dude,
This whole time, I just think I could be getting my first SS. But
You
instead,
could.
Yeah.
you should save your first SS for Grand Life.
All right. Let's go to options. Let's see.
Renari won.
No, just Grand Live is what I meant.
Is that thunder in the game or is that in real
Yes,
life?
there is thunder in game.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be thundering. So I didn't know if that was.
Yeah, I don't
For
see
real.
any way to make the battles faster.
That's slow
Wait,
as
you
hell,
can
man.
stream music. Start
Disgusting like hell.
playback before the song has begun. Download fully. Oh, okay. Well, it's fine.
Alright, well, I'm not putting a Volbeat, so however long ago you fought one of those, that's where I'm at.
I'm on the second
man.
floor now. Just
Damn,
chilling.
dude.
Damn,
Such a-
Daniel. That's like my name.
Damn, Daniel.
Sure is.
Remember we were playing, what's it, Cobblemon, and I found a Letty. I'm like, that's like my name. It's like an anagram of my name, and you're like, what the fuck? How?
Yeah, because I like hadn't ever pieced together that
You
could do that
never-
with Lydian's name. Because it's not my name, so I wouldn't really think about it much.
I thought it's
That's
because
the
you
thing.
never thought of me as Daniel.
No, I always knew you were Daniel, dude. You're funny Danny G. I just
No,
didn't,
Okay, I don't remember what it was.
I just didn't realize that Lydian's name could be turned into Daniel. I hadn't thought about it. On the
You're
account of
lucky
not
to have a
being
Pokemon
Daniel.
named after you. I don't have any.
This SSN is like really fucking big.
Like, how
There's
would
some
you
other
even
crazy
turn?
shit named after him, but I don't want to dox him.
What? It's just Cody. it's not like.
No, not you, not you, not you.
Oh.
I'm saying Danny. He had even more crazy shit. But I don't want to dox.
Like what?
I want to dox you, dude.
I literally don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Dogs, you dude. I can't say the rest of it because it'd be like giving your old name away.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out, like.
His name gets even more crazy
Crazy.
Could,
because there's more.
Crazy?
things. Yeah, crazy from chat. Yeah.
I was crazy once.
Oh, here's more of that.
I mean, I wasn't, but then I was.
Well, fighting a Bidoof, I don't give a shit.
I was a
Baidu.
pro once. Then I lapsed.
He's butt distracted.
He's green distracted.
I killed an Eevee.
Why
Fisherman
would you
throughout
do
Macadamia.
that?
Wait, why is that illegal?
It's fun.
Fishermen use fighting types. That's like a notorious thing, Ryan.
So this girl just dumped these boys, apparently, or whatever.
Silly Ryan. Man who plays way more Pokemon than me. Silly
Holy
guy.
fuck. Have you guys made it to the main lobby of the boat? It's huge.
What do you mean?
Oh.
You like the orange part?
The one of Henry and Emily battling in the center.
I took a peek out there, but I'm not quite at that part yet. I'm still doing the fights inside for levels.
What the hell is happening here? Ooh, trash cans. Remember to check the trash cans. There are items in some of them.
I got a great ball and a
Ooh,
hyper
a
potion
lepiberry.
from one.
Ooh, chestoberry. I like how the music
Ow.
just cuts out entirely for those.
Oh fuck.
How the
Ancient
fuck
Hour.
are you
Annie, do I do it?
alive? What, Jitch?
Do I do it? Do I do Ancient Hour?
Oh.
Yeah. Are you actually
Okay.
playing Uma?
Maybe.
It's not. The game is not that boring, Jitch.
Come on now. Get your Zoomer brain out of here.
Well, the good news, I'm lying.
Oh my god,
I'm
these
pulling up your stream
mixels.
right now.
These
I'm not playing
mixels.
Uma. I did genuinely think about it.
Oh, an
putting it up
orangeberry.
on my phone as a funny, but no, I'm not.
What is up over here?
The battles are just really fucking slow. So that's what
They're
makes me think
really
about it.
not.
Yeah, they're not really. I mean,
You
I
can't
wanted
skip
to.
any of the text. It goes its own speed, and its own speed is too
Really, there is
slow.
nothing.
Just turn up the text speed.
Wait, what's that? Nothing.
Champ.
I really went all this way over here, and there's literally nothing. What a waste of time.
What the fuck did this thing hit me with?
They couldn't help me defeat you.
Oh, I think I hear.
Holy fuck.
I'm hoping.
I noticed there's something funny with the multi-hit moves in this game.
What's that?
They all play the normal damage sound effect except for the last hit.
Oh yeah,
Correct type effectiveness one.
as well as if it's not very effective. I heard that as well.
Yeah, if like my water type got hit with icicle spear and the first three made the normal hit and only the last hit did the not very effective sound. It's weird. They should fix their shitty bad game that sucks.
The poison curing potion? Holy moly.
Shit's
I
getting
suck at
serious over
trading.
here.
I suck at trading, young lad. Would you
Young
like to buy a
lad.
beverage? Would you
There's
like
no
to buy a
reason for that.
beverage? You are underage, so I will need to limit
Say
the
young
assortment
lad.
of beverages that you can buy. Damn, can't buy alcohol.
Give me alcohol.
They're selling fresh
Love
water,
alcohol.
soda pop, super potions, moo milks, and berry juice.
Yeah, I like how the second I got the okay to start drinking and I just got shit-faced.
Like 3 days in a row.
It was one day.
3 days in a row.
Can't believe
Sure. No, that was that time I got drunk and did a fine motion run, and it was my new PB. And I got the hot spring ticket.
Did you say
hot
the-
se- Oh, no.
that. I thought you said the hot sex. I'm like, what the hot sex?
He
What?
did. He said
know,
what he
but
meant. Then he
front
corrected
and
it
slip.
for no reason. Just say what you mean, dude. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
there's really nothing
We're
up
all
here
pal, yeah.
that's of interest other than like some berries that were in a thing. So no
What, that
reason to
big
be in
ass
there.
room out there?
Yeah, it was just all little detail.
What room?
The one up the stairs at the bottom is junk.
Oh. Not that one.
Come on, Sailor Arthur. Oh, there's Sailor Joey.
Jailer Slowy. What am I saying?
Please. do
words.
not- do not. There is nothing for you to jump up for. You're just gonna knock everything down.
Just like print out a picture of Machikane Fukukitaro for him.
He's actually looking at my TV right now.
Get a plushie of Machikane Fukukitaro for blackjack.
Get a Dakamura.
A Dakimakura.
Yeah,
I don't
that.
think you
Oh,
can
he's
get
on
those
the
of
line.
Musume. I'm gonna look that up really quick.
Yeah, me too. New investment coming up.
What, Musume Dakimakura?
I'm just like, where's my credit card?
I looked it up and the first one's mine, no Top Gun. That's fucking awesome.
They
Whoa!
got 2 seconds.
Look
I
who's
would-
next to each other on here, Jitch.
All right, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the link. I'm waiting.
The fucking here.
See,
Thank you.
loading.
Thank you, Danny.
Stupid Discord's blurring it. Oh, there he is. Okay, I see.
There's also this one that looks pretty cool. My Discord fucking crashed.
Yeah, I can tell you sent 2 of them, and one of them was half sent.
Let me hold on. Fuck. The Yakuza got mad at me.
Oh yes, the Yakuza.
That's still crazy that they're like that weird about that. Where's my super potions? There it is. And I use this on my primate. How does it?
Is he gone?
Yeah, he's probably gonna be gone for a little bit.
Rest in peace, man.
What level are? How does primate evolve again into annihilate? Doesn't he have to die like 5 times or something like that?
I think he has to hate you. I think it's like the opposite of a friendship evolution.
No, I'm pretty sure he has to die.
He has to fix the Fugis now. Great.
Oh boy.
Or do I? Hold on.
Wait, let me
It's
double check
snowing
that.
on Mount Fuji.
How to evolve?
I think Ryan already wrote it in chat.
Oh. 20 hits
I do have
with
to restart
Rachis.
OBS,
Oh,
fuck.
Rachis. Okay. I'll have to look into that then. Have to make sure to remember he give him Rachis.
Alright, I restarted OBS. Hopefully that didn't end my stream.
Oh, cool. They have the black and white weather icon
Just go check it out.
for the battle.
It looks like my stream is still up.
Okay.
That's good.
Because I literally closed it for like half a second.
Oh, and even does the round, the count. That's cool. I like that.
Oh, this gold ship one's awesome. I need to stop. I need to get back to the game.
No, hold on, wait, so we can catch up a little bit.
Did they ever set to
True.
the diamond one?
No.
Did
Maybe
have
they
Mr.
did.
Boto?
They have Mr. CV, but they're using like her full Govy.
Did they have Mr. Doto?
No. They're using
like,
Mr. Yeah, they do.
Okay, you didn't tell me that. Why?
I forgot that you're cool with that now. They're using Mr. CB's full ass name on here.
Do they have a twin turbo?
No,
Dang.
they called her fucking Clear Bliss.
That's what CB stands for. Awesome.
Yeah.
I actually didn't know that. I never looked into it because I don't care about that character.
Holy shit, this image is like 2 pixels big.
Just cock balls. Damn.
This image is like 2 pixels.
Who is this?
Holy moly.
That's a.
I can count the pixels on my 2 hands.
I wonder how much that would cost. I wonder how much.
It's on sale right now. It's $59.
That's too bad.
They're usually these ones are usually $80. Let's see why. Are they made out of a good material? Whoa!
Ryan, it's funny that you would say that.
What?
What? What's happening? It's like you got caught in a tornado. Your microphone's going crazy. What? What's going on?
Look in chat.
Holy fuck!
That's
Can't mention that
disgusting.
on stream. Holy
That's
shit.
disgusting.
Really.
Uh,
It's honest.
How much is that? $148 if you want the core, in quotes.
I love the Minecraft core item.
What if I'm already prepared and I don't need that anymore?
You drill your own.
You're
You
already
drill, you
prepared.
drill your own.
This isn't the website I normally
Make good
get these
financial
from.
investments. No, I'm fine. This is
Let me
all
go to
very
the-
cryptic for people watching the stream. But yes, Brian, it's really funny that you asked what you asked because that's actually one of the first things Danny sent.
Was what?
Remember when he said, "Look who's next to each other." Look in my chat, Danny.
I forget what's.
Look at what Ryan
How do
wrote.
we move forward here? To find the.
In which
person?
chat? Because I just see 20 inch with
Twitch.
Rage Fist.
Yeah,
You
I
don't
don't.
see as much response from Twitch?
No.
Fuck? Am I disconnected from the thing?
I might have messed it up when I had to restart my OBS.
God
there
dang
you
it.
go.
Let me just screenshot it real quick.
Yeah,
This
I
is what
fixed it.
Ryan-
There we go.
There
We
you
are
go.
back.
Okay,
'Cause it's
type in
really
chat
funny that he did that.
again.
Yes,
Yes,
type in chat.
Send your messages so we can peer at them.
Yeah, it's working again now.
All right, we can peer. Oh, leftovers in the bottom right corner. Have to give those leftovers to one of my moms.
I think you ask Ryan to type in chat so he writes green rupee emote.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got pinged. Who pinged me? Oh, that's Steam alerts or Steam alerts. No, Stream Elements.
It's all the same. It's all the same thing.
It is in some
The
form or
element
way.
in the room.
Uranium.
That's
This
the
area-
element in the room.
Yep, that's the element. We're all gonna die. Why can't we enter? Other than the fact that the revered
Okay,
captain.
one
would
more,
be
and then I'm closing this tab and getting back to the video game.
One more? You already sent me the best one. I don't care. Okay.
All right, so
maybe-
we can't. We have to do
That
something
one's pretty
before
cool.
we
That's
can
pretty good.
get this officer.
She looks weird with her hair down like that.
Let me look.
Yeah. Her hair's normally huge. Like,
Here, let me.
Oh, my stream just restarted. Okay, well that's fine.
Let me send one for you as well. Because you're all sending one. I want to
why are
send
we,
one.
why are we still talking about dakimakuras?
Where's the
don't know.
leftovers in the garbage can at?
Can't pull this shit up on stream. This isn't a good conversation subject.
We're gonna go to that one website that we were on that had like the pyramid head lady.
Oh yeah, that was a fun time.
That was forever ago. That was like years
It
ago
was.
now.
Dude, I don't even know what that website
I
was. but,
I actually
yeah.
It was like
revisited that
joystick
website
or some
recently.
shit.
Yeah, I
Going
revisited
to
it.
set up an account and that so you could play funny sex games and then you never did.
Yeah, imagine if we were like streaming Yarimono on that.
God, that would have been awesome.
It would have been
Alright, here's my
after the doctor room. Okay,
here's my
I'll find it.
contribution to all these
Hey, what are you looking
Nakamuras.
for?
It's the Kasane Tedo. I've seen that one. That one's old. That's been around.
Yeah, it's a classic.
I've seen that one like a decade ago.
Ron.
And now Alizarin's caught up to me.
No, I mean
I
I've
told
been sort
a
of.
friend of mine once. I'm friends of mine. Well, I told a friend of mine once that I'd buy him a dakimakura, and he said, "I might be lonely, but I'm not that lonely." And I was like, "Damn, that's fucking brutal."
I
I
had
thought
some for a
Anybody would.
while.
I thought of it and I'm like,
I respect the honesty.
that wouldn't be comfortable. Like I can't really.
I
Sleep
don't
with
know.
something
I'm one of those people that like I lay in my bed and I do kind of like wrap myself around my bedding, so I actually do feel like a body pillow.
Yeah,
Like if it was just plain,
See, I only
liked
do
mine
that.
when I had them.
I only
do
do
think
that.
That'd be really comfortable to sleep with.
See, I only do that when
I
I'm like
had it-
really hot and I can't have the blankets on me, so I just go around the blankets and it keeps me warm, but not like sweating hot. It's really
Nah,
the
man,
only
I
time I've
used
ever
to
done it.
have a Hatsune Miku body pillow. That shit was tight.
And for people that don't know this, body pillows aren't inherently a sexual thing. They can be just a completely blank pillow that you
But
just
that's
use for
boring and
comfort.
lame.
Yeah, so you want to
Just
decorate
putting
it.
that out there for like the really prudent audience that's like, oh, talking about sexual things in the year 1816.
1816. I didn't know we were streaming.
I don't know. That's how some
correct.
people.
No,
fucking
no,
act on the
we were
internet.
streaming. You
There's,
would
like,
you
a
would go down
whole
by
wave
to the
of, like,
stream, and then
mega
you would be, you
prudent
know.
people.
Oh, oh, ew! They used a real Pikachu voice, and not the digital one.
Like when they do that.
Get out of here!
Like, why don't they do it for all the other Pokemon then, huh?
Yeah, at least do it like if you're gonna do it, like do it every generation maybe. Like do it like all Gen
Does
1.
Eevee at least get a voice?
Alright, I got the leftovers.
Eevee. Well, I don't know in this game, but I know Eevee did at one point.
Because that's what I'm saying is like if Eevee
and like
gets a
Let's
voice,
Go,
then
it had
good.
one.
I like Eevee's voice.
Eevee.
He says poi poi.
Boy, boy. Puyo, puyo.
Jensen.
All right, Ron is dead.
Why'd
I
you
feel
just
no-
randomly yell at my legal name like that?
Ooh.
Huh?
Huh?
You know what you did, Danny. You just randomly
said-
yelled out my legal name.
I said Jensen, dog.
Don't fucking repeat it. Why?
That's the name of this fucking trainer.
For Arceus' sake. Wait, what does it say?
There's an MF up here named Jensen.
Everybody knows my legal name. Thanks,
For
asshole.
Arceus' sake, they can't make modern technology simple. It says my password is incorrect. I keep turning this contraption on and off, and this glitch still won't go away.
It's a glitch.
Oh, that is funny.
Guys, I'm getting
Old
really
man
fed
being
up
old.
With, Arios again. I don't think we're Spunfin in this playthrough.
Don't think we're Spumpfin.
I don't know what
Yeah.
to do with this guy up there. Like normally you would have
I mean,
a
he's not even
rival
called
battle,
Spunk because you can't nickname
and he would
him,
say, "Wait,
so-
you made it through. How'd you make it through?" Bruh. Deeger, how?
Huh? What?
How did you make it through?
I talked to the guy and I said I had a potion.
You said I couldn't.
Talk to Jensen.
Jensen. Where's Jensen?
In here, Alizarin.
This guy's not even reading. He's not even talking to people. He's
I
skipping
am talking to
everything.
people. I literally talked to this dude. What the hell?
Did you talk to the other guy?
Did you
in the
read
kitchen?
something?
Oh, well, I thought I talked to everyone in the kitchen.
If you don't have a petra berry, then the guy in the kitchen can't make the potion.
This is so stupid. Or they have to make this a whole quest.
Alizarin doesn't fucking play video games.
I do, but I'm like,
Illiterate red, am I right? Sorry, that was mean.
when I can't read it out loud, it's like I can't really read it.
I get the
Does it-
opposite of that. If I read stuff
Okay,
out
I need
loud,
to,
actually tend
grab the
take it in
potion.
class.
Which one are you? This one, that guy doesn't even have a name. What the
We're
hell?
gone. Can't make modern technology simple.
Okay, so I go to the ballroom now. Okay. Can we go vibe in the ballroom?
Did I finally catch up to you?
Yeah,
Uh,
basically.
Wait, what's to the right though? Did you go to the rooms on the right past this door?
wait, did he make it
Huh,
or what?
where?
The captain's very ill. That does not bode well. What is wrong with the captain? Can you promise to remain tight-lipped? You promise awesome. You are sincere.
Wait, so I have to go see a Blissey now? Explore the ballroom where I see. So I can't go this way?
Not
Oh,
yet.
I see.
There's
Security
stairs to
officer
go up.
Chris is here. Wait, no, I can go up there. What?
All right, so I talked
Yeah,
to
but
the
you
dude.
can't heal the captain yet. You gotta go up the stairs and then
Holy crap!
go to the ballroom upstairs.
All right, I
Is there a
talked
way
to
to
that
heal in
dude.
the ballroom? I need to heal.
I'm just
and
gonna go back down to heal.
I guess talk to this
Yeah.
dude then. All right, so that dude didn't. Wait. Oh wait, there's a potion on the table here. Can I grab that? Or apparently not. All right, I talked to that guy in the kitchen. He didn't do anything. He just talked.
Okay,
So
then
which conversation do you think it was that made all the chat members stop talking? Which one?
I don't know.
Which one do you think it was that made them all leave? Besides Ryan,
there's
I'm
a dude
just-
in the ballroom selling decent heals. Okay.
I think it was
Okay.
probably the pillows. I think it was probably the pillows that did it.
I don't think
They're
so.
all
I,
lame and boring.
I think it was all the
for
Uma
not
Musa
sticking around.
talking.
It was probably
People-
Uma Musume talking. I'm
people
not gonna
hate
stop,
Uma.
though.
All of Jitch's
That's-
fans are Uma Musume fans, so
That's not true at all.
no,
That's
it's true. I believe what I want to believe.
Dude, I kind of want to just convert to just like streaming Uma often enough that I can Uma audience, but then I've seen how the Uma audience are, and I'm like, I don't know if I want that.
Yeah, I
The
don't
Uma
think you want
community
that.
is annoying as fuck.
Like
Is
they're all
what as fuck.
a lot of them
Annoying.
are. Yeah, a lot of them are probably like
Yeah.
degenerates at times.
I would rather deal with degenerates than people who are like hyper obsessed with like the
I
meta.
already
and
did
shit.
this.
I said this to Danny once before. I was like, I feel like the fucking super horny people are so much less annoying
Than
than
the
like the
meta
people
people.
that just take shit way too seriously, and like
Alright.
they don't even have joy when they play a game that is just bursting with whimsy.
Alright, I'm just gonna buy one of these things. Buy each of these things. I don't know if any of these are required.
Oh boy, we're at the point of the game where you can buy fucking soda pop finally.
Alright, I bought one of everything.
Soda pops.
I just bought 30 soda pops.
That's more than a couple soda pops.
Finally, the part of the
Alright,
game that
Mark.
doesn't suck.
Are you the one that does it? Give it me, or VIP
These
only?
statues look fucking disgusting.
I'm so
What, the
confused.
really big ones?
How do I get?
Yeah.
I'm still confused what I need to do. Because that guy didn't give me anything. Looks like I can go up
I'm
there
fighting
now
Luigi.
because I talked to that one dude. I don't know.
My body is ready.
How about now?
This fear when I. What the fuck am I doing?
What are you just doing?
Stimming.
Okay.
Yeah, I
What
really.
you need to do at some point, you need to stream your Clone Hero setup.
I don't think anyone should be subject to seeing that.
People need to see your Clone Hero setup. It's
Alright, I'll
fucking
just talk to
awesome.
this dude.
Maybe not the music that you have on it, but I think definitely they need to see how your game looks. Ha ha ha.
Okay.
Me only joke. Be funny.
No, I just got toxic spikes. Oh, I get flinched, dumbass. Fuck you,
That's what
Jackson.
happened to mine. What the fuck? You said that in like real time with when this hero was fighting flinched.
Hmm.
Ryan, you can back me up. You were probably maybe looking.
You were probably maybe looking.
He's also playing along with us, so he might not have actually seen it.
Why is it called growlers
I
when
didn't
it
know,
can't
didn't
learn
we know?
growl?
What, Jitch? What am I
Just
backing
asking
up?
what?
What?
I said hi diddly ho, Reno. That's all I said.
Oh.
He did not give you.
Ooh,
those
shell
things.
smash.
Stupid.
Ooh, nice.
Fire! I'm wearing that.
No, that's water type.
Yeah, it's normally a
It's
water
literally
move.
normal type.
It
What?
was Pokemon Mana, therefore it's a water.
I'm pretty sure
It
that.
is a
Wait,
water type move.
isn't it?
No,
is
it's
it?
a water move. It is.
Wait. Cell
Always
smash.
has been. Oh boy, he's looking
I am
it up. You can't
double-
just believe us.
I'm not gonna believe lies because that's how I end up
Not a
believing
lie.
them. It is normally normal type. Okay.
Always been normal.
You.
Let's
Okay.
take this dumb eyes.
I had to double check because if I'm not sure. I
I'll
have to-
pick it up if you know. If I know what it
No,
I'm backing.
it's not a big deal, right? It's just Danny said something about someone flinching, and like as he said that, I literally had a flinch happen in my game. That's all it was. Like someone could have clipped it, but no one did. It's not a big deal. Like, you know, I get it, guys. You don't pay attention. You're too busy.
You're
thinking,
you're
man.
kicking the ground with your feet, picking up little dust clouds.
Yeah,
Why
my
can't
hands are in my
I see it?
pockets. No, like, oh forget it.
You guys just don't like me.
You guys and your Uma Musumes. You rather them than me. I understand.
That's true. I'd pick him over most people I know. Sorry.
Fuck my friends, dude. Uma Musume is way cooler.
Yeah, Uma's always
love
got my
Uma's-
back.
Yeah, no one's got me. Musume's got me.
So, Jitch, how's your Neopets doing?
Wait, what?
Your Neopets.
You're Neopets.
That was a fun, like, 2 months, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Alright, I have the potion.
Oh my god, Moo Milk?
How do you get? Oh my god, I'm still lost on where to go because I can't even advance it.
Anyway.
Like
There's
the
a
guy.
Blissey in the ballroom.
There's a Blissey in the ballroom, Blissey in the ballroom, Blissey in the ballroom, Blissey in the ballroom, Blissey in the ballroom.
There's a bussy in the ballroom. What?
Blissey in the
Yeah.
ballroom.
There's a Blissey in the ballroom. Blissey in the ballroom. Blissey in the ballroom.
Yeah,
Blissey
that's
in
a
the
good.
ballroom,
That,
Blissey
that's
in
a
the
good
ballroom,
name
Blissey in the ballroom.
for a bussy.
What? In the ballroom?
No, bussy. Get named
Oh,
Blissy
bussy?
Bussy. Yeah.
Bakshi?
It's really fun. It's actually really fun to say Blissey in the ballroom, Blissey in the ballroom, Blissey in the ballroom.
I get rid of slash.
You'll
on
never
slash.
forget if you say it.
God,
often
everyone's
enough.
Magnet Rise. Is Magnet
Blissey
Rise
must have
good
given
on a
something. Blissey
Magnemite?
disappeared.
I don't think it is.
I'm not sure how useful Magnet Rise actually is.
Yeah. I'll
Blissey
get rid of
disappeared.
Sonic Boom. I don't really want Sonic Boom. I don't use it. Alright.
Bakshi.
Wait, is there a book? Can I click that? No. Okay.
Anything over here?
Yeah, I really don't know what to do. I am a loss.
I mean, I'm out of the SSN now.
No!
Damn, dude.
Wait, there's a great ball over there. Can I get that? No.
Why did I go all the way around here? There was no reason for this.
Yeah, I know. That's what happened to me. I went and did that, and there was like no reason.
Gotta teach cut to somebody, even though I really don't want to. I'm gonna go find a random bitch to teach cut to.
Is there
I'm
any
gonna cut
person
my life
here?
into pieces.
This is my last
chocolate
resort.
bar.
This is my last resort move. Suffocation.
Why the
Cut
fuck
No
my
is
reason.
that
life
door
into
here?
pieces. This is my chocolate bar.
That might be the worst, like, version that I've ever heard. Anything here.
You don't remember Vine, guys? You forgot about Vine?
I have never used Vine. That
9 plus
came,
10, 21.
That
I
literally
used to get
came and
plastic
went.
fork,
and
which
I
went with
never-
the song instead of chocolate bar. Chocolate
Yeah,
bar
but the
doesn't go with
chocolate,
song
the
at all.
chocolate bar is the Vine. You know, I found
Yeah.
a Magnemite in the grass.
Oh yeah, that's how I got mine.
A Magnemite.
I really don't know who I missed or what I missed.
This MF's riding a fucking Yoshi. What?
Yep, probably April Fools because he's tied to April Fools for Pokemon. It was an old,
I also
old
got cut. I
rumor.
also got cut. I also got cut. I'm
You
cutting.
got cut. You got cut. You got cut.
I'm cutting. I'm gonna cut.
I'm gonna blow my shit smooth off if Oddish can't learn cut.
Move off.
I'm so lost. Alright,
Let's
maybe
put
if I
this stuff
talk
here. Let's go.
to either Emily or Henry, maybe they'll do something. Or what about Janet or Clark? I don't know.
Wait, it's still here.
This
Good
Oddish knows
question.
motherfucking Giga Drain.
Hell yeah.
Motherfucking Giga Drain.
Motherfucking,
I'm actually stuck.
Oh, Spun. I love the way this game doesn't tell you if a thing can learn a move or not until you click on it. I think that's really cool.
Well, you can technically check in the Pokédex.
Who the fuck is doing that, dude?
Who the fuck?
Not me.
Alright, my Oddish knows cut now. I might keep the Oddish, I don't know.
I am lost. I don't know what to do.
You have to give a picture berry to a guy and he gives you a potion, and then you go to the sea, and then you go to the captain, and then you're done.
Yeah, I did that. I talked to all the
Cherry
chefs,
Blossom Festival.
and they all did nothing.
Go
Yeah,
to
the
Cherry
one guy
Missing
talked.
something.
That's why I'm
Fuck
confused. I don't know
fighting
what I'm
the-
missing.
Lieutenant Vludge. I'm gonna go to the Cherry Blossom Festival.
Like I talked to everyone here.
Yo, there's cherry blossoms.
This is beautiful, man. There's no
Hey,
Rick
I'm
Boy
missing
there,
out on the
no
cherry
more.
blossoms.
Yo, it's a daycare here.
Boring.
Wait, let me talk to this guy. again.
Or what, like Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness,
Pokemon LMFAO and Pokemon XD.
Pokemon LOL.
Pokemon AOL. Do I even have a Pechaberry? Is
Pokemon
that maybe
XD
the
and
issue?
Pokemon X3.
Pokemon colon 3.
I like using colon 3. 'cause
I
I'm
have
a
I have 2
masculine
pecha berries,
guy.
so I
What
should.
do you find here?
Holy shit, this TV is wide. That's a
People here
wide
kind of boring.
TV. What
You
the
actually get
fuck?
rotated?
Look at this TV.
Alright, hang on.
Just
I'm
come over.
coming. Where are
I'm
you?
so confused.
Are you in this one house?
I'm trying to find
Oh.
you.
Is that it? Old Jim and Joanne. Are you not in this building? Hang on, where are you?
I talked to him.
Where did you go once you got on Cherry Island? Did you go straight up?
Alright, that'll do.
A little bit, yeah. Yeah, over in here. This TV is fucking wide. That's a wide boy.
It's named by Ultra Wide Monitor.
That's mine.
32 by 9 television.
Yeah, that's you. That's your monitor.
I got a 21 by 9 monitor right now. So that's
Dude,
me.
I got 5 great balls. For my 2 egg baskets that I found.
Oh, there's like special Pokemon you can find here. Special
I'll be able to find-
cherry blossom type Pokemon.
I might try to catch one for my team then.
Yeah, I kind of want to do that. Depends
Those
what they are. I mean,
mushrooms.
it says like a Bellsprout here. I love Bellsprout. Ladybug would be kind of cool if that has.
Yo, a Petalil. I would love a Petalil. Why did I use the
Do you have to
water
maybe
before?
like be on the pink grass to find one?
This Marigold looks happier now. For now, I should check again in 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 57 seconds.
What? I found a licking tongue.
Yo, nice.
And that goes
Can
like,
I-
pedo,
can
pedo,
I get a
pedo,
lick?
pedo.
That's disgusting, Alizarin. That's illegal,
You want to
Alizarin.
cop a devious lick?
Yeah, I want to get a devious lick.
Remember, did you see that shit happening? The devious
Oh, yeah.
lick shit?
Yep, I did.
It was just people going to school and stealing random shit like soap dispensers.
Oh, it wasn't just school. It was also people in like
I mostly saw it in relation to
Wal-
school.
in Walmart. People were devious looking like shopping carts and shit.
Okay, that's a little bit funny. But they were stealing like soap dispensers and like bathroom stall doors from schools.
Yeah, someone
I
like
feel
stole
these are
like
gonna be really hard to find.
I'm
someone
trying to
stole
find one.
a literal toilet. I remember that. Like the
An
whole
entire
toilet.
toilet?
Yeah,
How do you get away with that?
probably off the like off hours. They somehow were still
Yeah.
in there. It's not exactly the hardest thing to do, but it's also like it's just more
Just
annoying.
big, yeah.
I mean, at least in my school,
Not
someone like
deep.
when I was in high school, someone stole like the whole computer. Like they gutted every piece out of it and just took every part.
At least that has like inherent value, unlike just a toilet.
And then someone just destroyed the System 32 on another one, and the thing started smoking.
I need to hunt Feebas? What?
I am not finding shit here.
I have until the end of the day to bring this guy a Feebas. Yeah, okay. Well, you keep waiting, buddy.
I'm only finding normal ass Bellsprout in this grass.
Did my game just crash? My game
Did
just
it?
crashed.
Really?
Rip.
I
Holy
haven't
fuck,
had this game
what?
crash yet.
Yeah, that
Well,
was
good.
weird. I tried going to like the northern area. There was like a loading zone at the north, and I tried going through it, and it
Let me
just crashed.
see. Let me see.
Well, good thing you didn't. Good thing you saved, right?
Oh fuck! I forgot to save in this online game. Oh shit!
Mine loaded fine. That must have just been a random one-time thing. This must be where the Easter
Yeah,
Pokemon are,
I'll
because there's
try
a
going.
shit ton of people running around in this grass.
Yeah, I'm establishing connection at the moment. So just gonna, I'll be right. Oh, that's a bit loud.
I gave us it.
Oh no, man.
You got caught red-handed.
I'm not doing nothing.
Not doing
I did it
anything.
for the bit. I did it for the
Hey,
bit.
gave
I'm not
us
actually
it.
doing anything. I'm actually not doing anything. I just thought it'd be funny. Oh, see
Yeah,
that.
wouldn't it be really funny? Haha.
I'm just gonna keep making that joke here and there because that's my idea of humor.
Your humor is humorous. Wait, what was that?
Oh fuck! It's 2 for 3 now. Side games?
Side games?
Why is side games? Why am I hearing that?
I think you're hearing things in your head.
It's a shit Bunnelby.
I hate Bunnelby. Such a downgrade.
Lock on you though, don't you? Sick.
What?
You
I
make
didn't
me
You
sick.
didn't even say anything.
I wasn't confused. Like, I didn't even know what you said. I was like,
So I bet
wait,
you like Loppany though, didn't you? And then I added you make me sick.
no. No, not really. I like, what you call it? What's the pre-evolution? Can't think of it.
Baneri?
Baneri's cute.
Oh shit, they got Lotad here.
Oh god, what's Bunnelby? I was thinking Baneri was Bunnelby. Shit, which one's Bunnelby?
Bunnelby is the
Oh, that's
the
not
ugly.
Diggersby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Oh,
like
very
the big
ugly.
Chungus guy.
Hell no.
Yeah, I hate that thing.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
The
at
Mega
all.
is cool,
Okay, so
though.
my
I do like the
mistake.
Mega.
I'm sorry, Alizarin. You only disgust me a little now.
I really hope there's Shroomish here. I want to get a Shroomish.
Oh, Breloom's cool.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
Breloom.
Did you see the unique form for Breloom?
Breloom, eh?
I have not.
You can see it what it
Danny,
looks
how do
like
you-
in the
I
shop.
call you Deviant.
Binda.
How do you do a funny pronunciation of Breloom? Give me one.
I don't know. That's not what I thought of.
Breloom.
You got Lotad here. I think you'd like Lotad, right?
Well, I already have a War Turtle.
Boy,
I don't need to really double up on water types like that. They
Wait.
only have one Spinda
I
sprite.
might
which
get a
is
Lotad. If I
Oh,
get
War
out of this
Turtle's
boat.
evolved.
bad. It's level 35.
Nefeo, this guy's War Turtle hasn't evolved.
What is yours already?
Oh, it's level 33.
Yeah.
My Charmeleon is
I'm
33.
just saying shit today. I'm sorry. I don't mean
The fact that I'm still on the boat and I'm still battling things and I'm equal level with you guys, but I still have not gotten off the boat.
to. Danny, you should go to the cave to the north. It's got really good music.
Oh, let me hear this.
You'd really like the music in here.
Like, there's always something that gets me pushed back, and I never get why.
I heard 3 notes and walked out.
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, no.
Basically, yeah.
Mamma mia, Papa
I'm not finding
Pia.
shit in here. This place blows. I found a Glameow, but I don't really like Perugly. I like Glameow a lot, though.
I'm really hoping
Oh,
there's
if-
a Shroomish in this
If
grass.
Glameow's here, that means Stunky might be here.
That's Yoshi.
Did you find a Yoshi in the grass?
There's someone on a purple Yoshi, and it looks
Oh, yeah.
fucking disgusting.
I saw that guy earlier.
I would not pay for that with a face like that. Absolutely not.
They
I'm
might
To
have
be
not
fair-
been
to be
it might
fair-
have been an event thing.
To be fair, the prices on them aren't that bad. They're like $1 or something. It's not like
I'm
outrageous as I
fully
was
judging.
assuming.
That is a disgusting Yoshi. If you spend $1 on that, I'm sorry, but you need to have your card taken away. You shouldn't be spending money.
Yeah, I was like actually surprised how relatively cheap this stuff was.
I don't like Breezy Cave. This place sucks.
I'm walking around in here.
I'm walking in here.
Watch where you're walking, bud. Well, put a hole in you.
No talent.
I thought this
talent.
music was a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh shit, there's a Quagsire.
I'm so confused by like
What did you
how-
despawn?
I'm so confused how they haven't implemented looping music in this game.
How the fuck are you doing that, Danny? How the fuck are you doing that?
What?
First the flinch thing, then you're like, oh shit, it's a Quagsire, and I find one for the first time in here. Stop.
I'm controlling the RNG in this game too.
Oh my god, haha, it's a shiny Mewtwo, haha.
Oh, it's a shiny Poliwag.
What? What is that? Why
What
do
are
you
you
guys
talking
keep bringing
about?
that up?
What are you talking about, Alizarin?
I found a shiny Poliwag.
Oh, that's cool.
On the boat?
Yeah. It was being cooked up.
Being cooked up.
Yeah. Inviting all the bros now because you know.
I love Mankey Cave. This is so fun.
Fuck this cave.
This cave sucks. I'm getting out. By the way, don't go all the way up to the top. There's nothing up there.
There's some egg baskets.
Some what?
There's an egg basket though.
What do those do again?
You give them to a guy and he gives you items.
I didn't see an egg basket. Where even was that?
I don't know how to get to it, but I see it over here.
I'm literally one-shotting all these Ratatas.
I'm gonna follow wherever you are so I can see what you're talking about.
I'm trying to get
Also,
to
you-
it.
You disappeared, so I don't know. You keep like disappearing. from the
Come on, already. I went off this boat.
screen. Did I talk to Kimono Girl Margaret? I don't remember. That is not a good Kimono Girl. Margaret?
Wait, who the fuck is named Margaret?
That is such a non-kimono girl name.
Yeah,
I am inclined to agree.
Margaret.
It's like some like
Our big-
tourist. What? She's probably a tourist thing that she is. Yeah, I'm a kimono girl. I'm wearing all the kimono outfit. Yep.
You calling her a lapa?
Yes, I am.
A glam, yeah.
Everyone in here, did I talk to all you guys? Do you guys give me a quest or some shit?
Yeah, this bitch.
I don't see anything there. You have to talk to the guy to start the quest to find baskets, because I don't
Maybe.
remember even hearing about.
You might have to talk to him and then come back to see that.
I don't know where he is. I kind of just.
He's just in one of the houses.
Oh, okay.
I'm using a fucking escape route.
I don't even blame you.
I hate this place.
The music's so good though. Reminds me of another song with a great game.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Do 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 do. Dude, as I was
That's
doing
another
that song,
reason.
I stopped doing it. I was like, damn, his cry's kind of similar to that actually.
That's another reason we need to start
Here,
shimming
what
on
do you
that
got to say?
joystick shit.
Yeah, you should.
That way we
Be
can
down.
play
I
the.
I think playing funny sex games for an actual audience on a website would be really funny.
It would be funny. I do agree with that.
And then you get to one that's problematic media and get cancelled online.
Yeah. That's bound to happen.
Actually, I feel like the people who would watch you play sex games don't give a fuck.
I literally battled
Mythical
everyone and talked to
Bundle.
everyone.
That's a good username. Wait, was there a path? There was like a secret way to go through that.
Holy fucking quag. Here, I found an egg basket.
A cave has an exit? No, it fucking doesn't. Shut
Yes,
up,
it does.
game. It does?
Yeah, I just went out the other end.
Where the fuck was it?
You gotta go across that bridge
I
and then
did.
wrap around.
Huh?
You wrap
I'm going back
around.
in.
You go up the bridge and then wrap around back to the bottom portion of
You
the
have
cave
something
again.
new to say, maybe.
I'm going back in.
No,
It doesn't seem to have anything different from the other half of Breezy Path, but
Well,
it
you
is.
can then activate the shortcut and not have to even go through Breezy Path.
Alright, I genuinely think I might be soft locked.
Why?
I
think you
battled
missed something.
every single person. I talked to every
you have
single
to have just
person.
been missing something.
It has to have been
Did
because
you-
I died and got sent back to the Poke
Did you
Center
not
after.
get the poison cure thing? Do you have a Pecha Berry?
I have 2 Pecha Berries. I talked to the guy in
You
the.
spoke to the guy.
Yes, I spoke to the thing. He said, "Oh my God, the guy is sick. I need blah 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 in the kitchen." He's like, "This is very dire. The captain is very ill. What is wrong with the captain?"
Option by talking to him.
Yeah, and I did that. Watch, I'll do it again.
I got a Sableye from this cave, so now I don't mind it as much.
I say, "Oh, what caused it?" My collaborator's prognosis, blah blah blah. I lent some good faith. There even however before the investigation, that blah blah. Is there any way I can help?
Ryan said he found a tour
Oh.
chick. Holy fuck!
Oh, that is
I
so
wouldn't mind a tour
stupid.
chick. What happened?
Cool. I'd love to watch her.
So if you press the first option, and then you go and click the second option, it says whatever. But you have to click the second option the first time, and then he tells you, "Oh, you got a Pecha Berry? Okay."
That is
horrible.
pretty bad, actually.
I found a pan stage.
I hate this.
Ew.
I hate
Why would
this
you
game.
tell people that?
Yeah, Pan Stage is not good. Pan Poor? Now that one's a little better.
Like piss poor.
Hell yeah, brother.
C dot. I'm on Suzuka path.
Is it silent?
No, because I hear stupid battle music.
Oh. See, if it was silent, I wouldn't ever find it.
Alright,
So.
now to the ballroom. Yeah, that was a horrible, horrible system. I hate that. Alright. Now who do I talk to here?
So you
A
go across the
pid gay.
bridge. And then now I'm across the bridge.
Mark,
And then
what
you
about
wrap
you, Mark?
back around to the left and down.
And then I do epic wreck battles of history around.
A Seviper.
Swiping.
Oh, there is. How did I miss this exit? Holy shit. I walked right past that.
Hypno.
Ooh, that was
Harold?
cool.
Harold Flower?
Nishino flower.
The music's not terrible here.
Alright. I talked to everyone. Oh, the thing should be ready. Ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da.
John and Ron.
Ron and John, John and Ron.
Hell yeah. What? How did
You
you
think
get
they,
past these guys?
You think they
What?
blow each other?
Ron and John?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I am
I
not
know
being
this-
very observant today.
Explore the ballroom for now. What the fuck? I just explored the ballroom. I talked to every single person.
You gotta talk to the Blissey.
Now, where's the Blissey at then?
It probably appears after you get to that point.
I'm always asking where's the bussy at then.
Where's the
literally-
Blissey at?
Oh, it's over there. Oh, god damn it.
Like a Pinkman.
I found the Blissey. I was the Blissey all along.
Maybe the real Blissey was the friends you made along the way.
I was hallucinating, apparently. Oh boy.
You were
Crazy
hallucinating
goddamn.
the Blissey.
Yes, it said it. Text said I was hallucinating that the Blissey was there, and that I must be sick.
Blissey hallucinations are really serious.
They are.
Are you in this cluster of people?
Alright, let's talk
Me?
to sick
Yeah.
Chris.
I jumped down a ledge. I don't think I'm quite over there anymore.
Alright, finally, I get in here. Ooh, there's a jack-o'-lantern.
You wanted to find the
Oh,
cool
season.
Pokemon here, didn't you?
Here,
Well-
bro. Have your.
I'm just walking
Sickness.
around. I don't even know where I am.
I kind of want to just go back and fight Surge. I don't want to be here anymore.
Finally, I can leave this godforsaken boat.
I mean, I'm having fun exploring still.
I just don't know where I am and it's scaring me.
Well, how about you know?
Don't you have a town map?
How about... Yeah. There's a map button, isn't there? Holy
Yep.
fuck, we're up in Breezy Island. Holy
Finally.
crap, we're in Breezy Island.
All right,
Holy
now where
crap,
did you guys go
boys.
from there?
Oh my
'Cause
god.
I'm off
holy
the boat
fuck.
now.
South of Sturge's gym.
Yeah, you cut the thing and then you go south and there's like a boat you can take.
What? They're changing this whole game too much. This is ridiculous.
Oh, I found
It's
a
not-
thing up here.
This
Thing?
isn't Kanto anymore.
There's like shaman and shit.
What shaman?
Holy
What?
fuck. I'm on my way. I'm on my
I
way.
want a shaman.
And Growlith.
Ooh.
Growlith.
I
Bless
think
you.
Growlith's cooler than
Thank you.
Seamus.
Oh, you're here,
Seamus.
Jitch. What do you mean?
What?
You're literally here.
Alright, I got my fur
Is it
cut.
here?
Oh my god, there
Yeah,
was no
look,
cut
Oh, that-
shaman's
animation.
on that the stone
Dude,
thing.
I didn't even notice that, honestly. I didn't even see that.
Alright,
I
take
think
me
a lot
to
of
where
egg
they are.
found
baskets.
shaman.
No, no.
I really wish I'd activated the egg basket quest because you seem to be finding a lot of them and they're probably very good.
Weedle. I love Weedle. Weedle's
Who are
actually
you?
pretty chill.
I'm gonna find
May-
3 more Pokemon and
so
if they're
for
all
real.
Mayor
shit,
Chris.
I'm leaving.
That's funny.
I really want to find a Shroomish, but I don't know if there's a Shroomish here or not. I'm hoping that there is, though. Just because I want one.
Hello, Jerry. Who are you?
I've never
Hamon.
actually battled a Shroomish. Jerry makes me think of Rick and Morty, and then I go, ha 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 ha.
Oh my god, something like Eldritch
Growlithe.
Being went by. Oh, also, apparently the newest Rick and Morty season's like really good. I've been seeing people talk about it.
Hey
What should they
boy,
pay
I
to
just
say
got the
that?
new Rick and Morty season.
Like the animation is like
This-
like
Watch
back,
these.
as they say.
That's what I say when I put on like season 12 of Rick and Morty.
That has
Watch
stuck
these.
with me. Just watch these.
It's really
These
weird because I watched that
nuts.
video and it wasn't even that funny, but it's very quotable.
Wow, the music here is so pretty. It's like 12 notes.
We even got an app to destroy all ops.
Look at this 3D spinner.
Look at this photograph.
Found a
Every time.
Wigglytuff.
It makes me laugh.
This Wigglytuff looks kind
Oh,
of bigoted, so I'm gonna run
Betty
away
or
from it.
Tammy? This is a
Look at
hard
this
question.
graph.
If I were to go off of Betty or Tammy, I would not trust Tammy. I'll go Betty.
I do. What am I,
Wrong.
Ryan?
Both are equally cute. How am I supposed to know who's
Nah.
equally cute?
Why is he got a fucking Torchic here? No.
Torchic my ass, bro. There's no Torchic in this grass.
Whoa! Welcome. I'm only selling fresh berries from my
I'd
own
Torchic your
plantation.
ass.
They are growing wonderfully this season. Restoration berries, EV training berries, and elemental berries. What are elemental
It's in
berries?
the Urban Dictionary for Charizarding
those.
someone.
Oh, I sure have. That's ancient. I saw
Yeah.
that when I was like not even half my current age.
Oh, you can buy rare candies here. For what is this currency? Like a blue currency. I don't know what that is.
Seen the Alabama Hot Pocket? That one's one of my favorites.
Oh, that's
Special
a classic.
Pokeballs.
Oh,
What
I
are
can
these?
participate in the thing here.
Oh.
I didn't read a word that guy just said. Holy fuck.
My friend got banned from a server for saying the owner likes Alabama Hot Pockets.
Come back in 4 hours, 53 minutes, and 53 seconds.
I'm not counting that shit.
Well, you can buy all evolutionary stones here.
Every
That's cool.
6 hours, around in the eastern basket, hunting.
We're never gonna be live in 4 hours and 53 minutes. Probably. I mean,
Maybe,
we
I
might
don't
be.
know. Who knows? I'm still wide awake.
Kind of hard, so it might take a
I don't
break.
really have time to be up for 4 hours and 53 more minutes. I'm gonna have to be in bed for work.
That's fair.
What about if you had those 53 seconds? Does that make it better or worse?
I really hate those.
Good question.
Ooh, thunder.
I don't know how the fuck you found a Torchic in here. I'm gonna be so for real.
He cheated. He hacked it in.
He
Who has a
hates-
Torchic? Oh, Jared. Who is Jared?
He sent
He
me a
was
DM and
hazing.
he was like, LMFAO daddy go for it.
Alright. Let's see if I could find.
He actually just inspect element.
Yo, I
put
found a
it in
bell
Torchic.
sprout.
I need to address the element in the room.
I need to inspect the element in the room.
Elementussy.
Spinda. I wish the Spindas had patterns in this game, but they don't because this game is bad.
Spinda's cool. I wish Spinda had more to him.
Let's see what Ryan's battling. He's been there for a while.
Another Bellsprout.
Ryan's team is very interesting. His pincer is very low level though. SMH.
Cortisol level. Lower. I can't even talk.
What about
I-
cortisol?
I was gonna say cortisol level is lower for Pincer. But I couldn't even talk and speak that joke into
Can someone
existence.
explain cortisol to me? I read about it and I forgot it all immediately.
It's like stress.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just
yeah?
yeah.
There's gotta be
I'll be
more
back
to
in
it
a
than
second. It's basically just that. I'll be back in a second, Seth.
It's being
I'll
used for a lot
return.
of things like, oh my god, you're so stressed out, you lower it, or like, oh my god, lower it, you have like you're chill as fuck, so you have low cortisol level, and yeah, stuff like that.
I am low cortisol streamer.
Yep, I beat that too. To be fair, it is because I've been up for like over 12 hours now, so. Well, actually, way longer, but I don't know. Yeah. I can't talk. Jesus Christ.
I'm leaving this place. This place sucks. I'm gonna go fight Sarge.
I'm still looking around and seeing what else we have. May, who are you? I'm a goth. I don't really like spring. At least
That's
there are a few
not
things to
true,
do.
by the way. Goths like any fucking seasons. I don't like these stereotypes.
Well, she said she doesn't. It's not like
Yeah, but
saying
they're
at
projecting
all.
their own fantasy of what a goth is, and they're wrong.
To be fair, I don't like spring, and I'm goth.
You're not a goth. Don't fucking lie to me.
I'm like anything but goth.
I was gonna say, you're like, not even close.
Currently closed. Are you looking for the jeweler? No, I'm not. Yeah, blah blah. I do like the art here. It's a little nicer than other areas. Oh my god, it's a shiny Raindar, what? Stantler Rudolph thing. And I really can't talk right now. Poke Center.
Shiny, whiny, the hash slinging.
Went AFK, so not sure if you saw, but there are Inkay near where I found Torchic. Okay. Oh, who is Seb? Hello, Seb.
Where did
Okay.
you find this stuff, Ryan? I never saw Inkay or Torchic, and I was there for a while. Fista Freddy? What?
Who?
It's Freddy Fista!
Yo, I love Freddy Fister.
It's a Pokemon you could
Freddy
cultivate here. Yes,
Fister
look here. Oh, what
Is
did
no
you get?
mister.
Area Dissy.
Harry Dusty is so cool. Today you need to hunt a Piplup. And remember, you have to be the OT. Now I won't hold you any longer. You'll have to until the end of the day to bring me a Piplup. Good luck, trainer.
A fucking Piplup, that's such a high demand.
I love Piplup, so I'm gonna do that.
Where are you gonna find a Piplup?
I'm gonna pull it out my ass. So let's see if we can find it. Oh my god, there's a ghost. Oh, I found a C-Dot. That's cool. I guess I'll Dragon Rage it.
Yeah, this place. I really just want to go back to Vermilion. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be here anymore. Stop it, Zigzagoon. I don't want to be here anymore.
Leave me alone. I want to leave. I want to go home. I want to
Zigzagoon, you're
leave.
scaring me. I don't want to be here anymore.
I caught a C-Dot. Hell yeah. Bump, bump. Bump, bump, bump.
I really don't know how to get out of this area. It's so big.
Wait, what? I know the song. Oh, that's a game broke. Oh, Petalil. This is what I want. Yes. Love Petalil. Love Lilligant.
Oh, holy light!
True.
True. I was thinking that exact thing.
Love Lilligant. Lilligant's so cool.
That guy's riding a God of War? Lucky.
Yeah, you can get that. Like, you get a shiny one, too. You could also ride a Frostlass.
That'd be very cold.
It would be. But it was cool when I looked at it.
Oh, that's how you get out of here, I think.
Fuck. I hate it when, like, Rain Meter decides, oh, hey, you turned me off a little bit ago. I'm gonna turn you back on. Okay, there we go.
Monet. It looks like the Smiggle wants a Peckerberry. Yeah, sure.
Let's see what else we got over here. What's over here? Oh, a little Diglett. Hello, Mr. Diglett.
That's the thing Danny said earlier, I see. Yes, of course.
Man, these are some fucking weird sprites. Some of these mons. Another C dot. Alright. We head up a forward. Ooh, Jeff, who are you? Alright, let's see what's in this tunnel.
So you makes me think of when, like, the end of a South Park episode
Oh my god,
where they're like, you know, I learned something today, guys.
Person has a hat from Dr. Stone. Interesting.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
I finally found my way out, Danny. I don't know how to be there anymore. I'm leaving. I'm finally
Wow.
leaving.
Okay.
Whoa, a Lickitung.
Would it be cool if Rattata wore shorts? I mean, they're so comfy and easy to wear.
It would
Yeah.
be cool. I will. Wait, how would he wear it? Would he wear it?
Why am
like...
I playing this game? What am I doing? How did I get here?
We're having fun together.
How
Yeah, you got
did
a
I
raid,
get
Alizarin.
here? What?
You got a
Oh,
raid.
I got a raid.
Damn, you got a raid.
Thanks for the raid.
3D Bob raid.
Actually, I don't think I got that notification. Oh wait, I disabled the sound. That's why I didn't hear it.
Wow, you're disabling your raid notification
He
sound?
big
I
leagued
did
his
it
raid.
just
He's
for
like, I don't need this raid.
I did it for this stream. I disabled all the sounds of my notifications other than the prompt ones. But thank you for the raid, 3D Bob. So that you guys don't get my music of getting a sub and getting all that.
I don't think we got a bike voucher.
But yeah, thanks for the raid. I appreciate it.
I don't see one in my inventory, and I'm pretty sure I talked to everyone, Ryan.
Pretty sure the bike shop had a quest that you had to do instead.
Yeah, it was
might have.
stupid like that.
I don't remember what the quest was though.
In the
'cause I never
original
had a
game, you just
quest.
talk to that like Pokemon fan club guy, and he gives you it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy doesn't exist anymore. They made it difficult. What are
A
all these? Oh,
variety of shops. Betty or Tammy? They both sound like they're like 75 years old.
yeah, it's
I'm gonna go with.
it doesn't
"Whoa,
matter.
Black Betty, bam a lamb.
It doesn't matter.
I thought this would solve my issue of not having a lot of Pokemon on my party, but I still have that issue.
You're so picky.
Hey, you're very picky.
I have a Wartortle and a Nidoking and an Oddish that I don't think is going to be a permanent party member.
I got a Charmeleon, a Noctowl, a Furret, a Primeape, a Granbull, and a Magnemite. We are rocking
Special
it.
balls.
Yeah, I'm just really picky.
Like special week?
What was I
And
gonna
you-
say?
You are Uma Brain Rotten.
You're learning this now.
I was gonna say momentous occasion. That was it. Oh my god! Let's go!
What?
Actually go! I found a Shroomish on my way out.
Hell yeah.
Oh, cool. There it is. There it is.
There it
Oh my
is.
god.
There it is.
I need to add that to the sounds that people can redeem. I think that would get a lot of use.
There it is! There it is!
Ew, that purple Yoshi is ugly.
I wonder if that's. Let me have a look if that's just like on there. If I'd have to like custom add that because Soundalite has a lot of things already on it.
Alright, I caught a Groomage.
I wonder what the
Well, I was
shiny odds
also
are
open
like in this
our
game.
chat because I had a ping and I saw all the shit
might
they
just
were
be
sending,
full.
and oh my god, peak.
Well, I know full, but I'm like, is it like old odds or new odds?
My, I'd assume new. Okay. Shroomish
Is this
can't
it?
learn cut for some reason. So that's really nice.
It probably maybe when it evolves.
If ever. You Spinda's bald. Yeah, the Spinda sprite in this is bald. What'd you find, Jitch?
It's such a long sound, but I'm adding it. That's getting added for sure. Oh my god. Alright, we're getting rid of Weep, guys.
No, not my weep.
No more Mweep.
We're getting rid of Weep. We need. There it is. It's really. It's so long. One final Weep before it goes. Thank you. How do I fucking change this? How do I?
Wait, does stream alerts have like a limited number? Oh, a Gleegar. I love this guy.
Yeah, unless you pay, you only get Gleegar.
Yeah.
Gleegar.
Gligar. Like Glide.
Gleegar. Gleegar.
Gleegar.
Yeah. Gleegar. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Gleegar.
You guys are weird.
I was gonna say
Never heard
Gligar,
of
but I'm like,
Gleegar
you know, it'd
before?
be funny if I said it the other way.
How the
But yeah.
I know. Okay, I've managed to get out finally.
But yeah, I'm gonna catch this guy. I love him.
Alright, we have a hang on, let me test the browser source real quick.
But yeah, like on Twitch, I.
There it is.
Oh my god.
I like how long it is. I think it's perfect.
There it is. There it is. All right, time to stomp Lieutenant Surge.
That was you and you found Shroomish.
There it is. There it is.
There it is.
That's gonna be me when I finally spend $210 to pull Inari 1.
I hope you think of that when that happens. Wow, I have a lot of things that I'll be collecting.
Whoa,
for-
a
holy
Geodude of
shit.
all things.
I mean, I'm just gonna slam Lieutenant Surge's pussy with my Nia King. They didn't change this stupid ass puzzle.
I love
Why
that.
would you not change this puzzle? This is the worst thing in any Pokemon game.
It is peak game design. That's what the devs probably
You are
thought.
so right, Danny. You are such a baiter, Alizarin.
I'm
You are the
joking.
master of baiting, Alizarin.
I'm joking.
Alizarin's a masturbator.
I'm just saying the
He's
devs
the
thought that.
masturbator.
What? Wait, why does this person have a what the fuck is it called? The thing from Avatar, the flying thing.
What a shocking presence.
Oompa?
Something like that.
Apu?
Yo,
maybe?
try this ancient ass nomad Kush.
Huh?
I love that.
I need to send that picture in chat
Yeah,
so I don't
guess
look
you do.
insane.
Alright, time to exit. Wait, can my Mankey use dig? Let's see. Says I could use it out of battle if it has good, how do I do that?
I'm trying to Google this and I look schizophrenic.
I mean, that's normal.
The trainers really don't pay fucking anything in this game, huh? I swear it's got $43 for beating a
Well,
gym
it-
trainer.
It's because you get them from killing wild enemies as well, like wild mobs. So, it's
Maybe
just,
don't
I think it's,
wanna kill. Maybe I just want to win battles like a normal person instead of leaving blood behind. Hmm?
I can't help that. It's something that I grew up saying, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill this guy. And
The
that
good
just
news,
can't.
Danny,
What?
the buttons don't move.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, that's nice.
The first switch is always in the same place.
Okay, I can't find it. Whatever.
Alright, let's see what kind of villainous monologue I get from Lieutenant Surge, since he's an evil villain according to this game's story.
He's probably gonna say fuck.
Will you be showing your? I hope you've been showing your
Holy
pussy
shit, he's saying
tonight,
it.
baby, because I will be wanking my cock.
Lieutenant
Oh,
Surge,
oh my
that's fucked
God.
up.
You can't be saying that to a
Do not
kid.
say that to me.
Man, that's disgusting.
Did they not even code the puzzle correctly?
I think they just didn't.
No, it's just
I-
two random ones.
Yeah, it's
For the
Yeah.
supposed to
top
be
left and the
adjacent.
bottom left.
Yeah,
It's
with
supposed to be-
Torkoal.
That was confusing me at first.
These guys are stupid.
Yeah.
They probably wanted to just like generate
I said
two
that, though.
random ones when you enter, and that was it. That's the puzzle. I'm like, yeah, it's not that bad.
It's supposed to be an adjacent, like.
Yeah, I know.
The fuck is this team?
It's better than the normal one, at least. I feel like the two random ones is better than like resetting every time you get it wrong. Wait, why are there so many AFK people? Yo,
This is
Quagsire!
stupid.
Now you guys understand how I felt with the boat.
God, okay, I'm done.
I'd like to catch this Quagsire.
He's done, guys. He gives up. He's quitting.
Yeah, I'm dropping out.
I'm gonna go back to
Be the first time
Palatown.
we've had dropouts in these Pokemon games. I tell you what.
I tell you what.
I'll tell you what, boy.
See, I don't drop
I'm
out of
It
these
wouldn't be the
Pokemon
first
games.
time.
The only thing I drop out of is college.
Nidoking used, right?
Oh!
Hello?
What?
That foul play really hurt.
That was pretty foul.
Shroomish
don't
grew to
you
level
say.
19.
Alright, I'm out of here. Alright, we're back into the forest.
Motherfucker.
From Umamusume.
Yeah. As a matter of fact.
Dude, I'm just spamming Mega Horn and murdering this guy.
I should have done the same thing, but I was using chip away.
I mean, that's also pretty strong.
What's up here?
It's okay, I just beat his Raichu with a Crobat. Get fucked, dude. Nah, he was really easy. Holy shit. Oh my
Yo,
God,
a
so loud.
Trico.
Oh my God.
I found a Trico,
Nice.
guys.
Damn.
Well, I need a Piplup, though. So, like,
Ow! It hit me with Dig and killed me. Go War Turtle.
I actually love Trico. Trico is like my favorite Gen 3 starter.
Shell Smash. Watch these.
I'm gonna use Dragon Rage. Hopefully
Shell
it didn't
Smash
kill.
Bite.
Oh, good, it didn't.
It didn't even kill, but it flinched. Get absolutely destroyed, Surge.
We're catching a great ball.
I love video games.
I wonder what item I'm gonna get from the Pokestop for being Surge.
Hell yeah, I got myself a Trico.
Poison Powder.
Holy moly.
Nah. My Oddish evolved. I don't even think I'm gonna
Yo,
keep using
Magnemite's
that
evolving.
Oddish when it evolved.
No,
Hell yeah, I got
you gotta use
Magneton.
Otopussy.
I have a Shroomish and an Oddish. I'm not keeping both.
Okay, no, you don't need to. You're right, you don't need to.
I'm definitely gonna keep Shroomish over Oddish if I had to pick one. Bloom, 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 blah, blah, bloom.
Oh, I found a Meryl.
Alright, time to
Listen,
shove these
you're gonna end up
EXP
falling
candies
really
into
far
my
behind
Oddish.
us again.
I'll catch up. This is my own little thing. I mean, I was already far
Yeah.
behind with the boat,
Yeah,
so I'm
just-
like,
well, as long as you're not worried about it, it's no big deal. Just do what you want.
I'll get worried about it when I'm at the gym. then I'm gonna be panicking.
What is this ledge up here? What's that?
Like, I'm chill.
My Breloom is
Wait,
level
what?
24.
Why am I using a fire attack on a Meryl? Am I dumb?
I'm gonna have to
Breloom
use
is
Breloom for a
45
while.
years old.
I'm gonna have to use it until it catches up for sure. It's very far behind right now.
Well, since you beat the gym, you can get a bunch of XP candy from the Pokestop.
Yeah, I just shoved all of that into it already.
Yo, it's
I think-
Mephistopheles. He had
Oh,
two
I'm
biggest
stupid. I'm
flash
not
moves
reading
and
the text.
abilities.
I'm using dragon moves on a Meryl, and I'm like, why is nothing happening? It's a
This is
dragon on
fairy.
fairy. Yeah. I forget that they gave Meryl a fairy type. It's such a
No,
weird
water's
choice.
actually immune to dragon. They added that.
Danny, you should go in the Diglett's cave if you want more XP candy.
Okay.
You get M XP candy in Diglett's cave.
I got that from the Pokestop guy at the bridge too.
Yeah,
Alright, what else is over here?
but those ones are like XSs, I think.
Yo,
whereas these ones
there's
are
like a-
Ms, dude.
No, I got M from the guy
Alright.
outside the bridge.
This is funny. There's a dude here that is dressed up as Joker, riding on a shiny Gardevoir which has like red wings.
Stomping Tantrum, a good move.
Like it's like a vampire Gardevoir. Oh, I found another Trico.
What is this interaction I'm having?
I'm running away from it though.
I'm putting a repel on.
I don't need a Trico. I need a Piplup.
What do you mean he's learned it? Oh, okay. I get rid of Poison Sting. That move sucks.
It's over here.
Man, Yellow King has Stomping Tantrum now. Sweet.
Nice.
Where are these M candies you spoke of?
There should be a Pokestop guy in the very entrance to the cave.
He
Ew,
did
I
not
found a
give me
naked
M
Spinda.
candies.
Really?
They gave me an ether and shit.
Oh, is it just random what they give you? Maybe that's
I
why I got
guess.
XS from the previous one and you got M's.
I guess it is random. That's like stupid.
That is really stupid. Hello, Brock. He's not ready for a rematch. That's really pathetic.
Damn, Brock is lazy.
Grow some fucking balls, Brock. Piece of shit. Fuck you.
I wonder if someone actually got that angry for something like that.
Like stops playing the game because they're so mad.
And they go,
I mean-
they have to go calm down.
It's like,
Such
fuck!
a fucking pussy, Brock. You really pissed me off. That's it. I'm fucking leaving. Logs out of the game. Never comes back.
Alright, I got an EXP share and flash.
We already have the XP share in this game. What?
I think it like doubles the amount you share.
Yo, there's like a weird Absol guy thing that this guy's riding on. It's like pink.
I guess I can I
Shit.
can leave Breloom in the back for now. Nah, I'll keep using him.
I forgot about how Digwits can have arena trap.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
was-
classic.
I'm gonna give my Breloom the leftovers for now. Let me see how this works. So yeah, the EXP share
think I'm head
currently
on
does
out.
nothing.
Wow, this is a good game.
No, no, because we have the party EXP share going on.
It's a good
Yeah.
game. I just want to shit on this game for no reason, even though I'm enjoying it.
Once the party EXP share wears off, you just use the EXP share held item instead.
Yep.
I don't know when the
Like you
party
would-
EXP share wears off, but
I don't know.
Oh, is it
It's
only
just-
temporary?
I have no idea.
I would assume so if that EXP share item exists.
It's been on the whole time, even when you.
Dude,
I, was,
I
you
just
guys...
noticed Jitch. Look at this tree. Come
Oh.
up here.
Oh.
Look. It's just like a shitty JPEG. It's got like you can see the JPEG compression artifacts on it.
I'm coming back.
You
Let's
see
see
that?
what's up.
The path around it too. You can see it's just like a shitty low resolution JPEG.
I love this game, man.